Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, that's Ben Olson, together with the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. This one comes to us, Ben, from a recently departed and will be sorely missed Demon Live student. She killed the LSAT.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
So is no longer with us, but she specifically emailed this. She wanted you to talk about it.
Okay. Regarding the Demon dashboard. Okay. And on the Demon dashboard, by the way, you have a score from 0 to 100 for each of the 3 sections: for logical reasoning, for logic games, and for reading comprehension. And as you do better in each section, the Demon gives you a higher and higher score. How the Demon determines whether you do better or worse is simply a function of whether you got a question right, how hard it was, and how long it took you to answer it. So this correspondent says, I'm currently at 93 out of 100 in logical reasoning, 64 out of 100 in logic games, and 73 out of 100 in reading comp. However, I have spent exponentially more time drilling logic games than reading comp or logical reasoning. With little study time remaining until my April test, how do you, Ben, recommend that I proceed? I know Nathan keeps his eyes on the road ahead and not on the dashboard. That's funny. I have been getting untimed perfect game sections lately, but only on level 3 or lower difficulty under timed conditions.
She didn't say sections. She said perfect.
Oh, did
games.
I said section? Oh, okay. Untimed perfect game scores.
She can work through a game untimed and get it perfect, but only on level 3 or lower.
Okay. In logical reasoning, I only drill level 5 questions and get about 80% of those correct. Maybe reading comp is where I should drill and stick to time sections for logic games and logical reasoning.
You know what? I'm wrong. She can do a section perfect. She can do all the games perfectly untimed. She says when she does it under timed conditions, then she only gets level 3 or lower difficulty perfect.
Okay. So what's missing here is how you're doing on time sections. Look, the Demon is going to give you an estimate of where it thinks you are in each of these sections. And it looks like you're struggling more with games. And it almost sounds like you maybe are. I mean, you're doing a perfect section, but it's untimed. How do we know how you actually do on a time section?
This is why I dislike the dashboard. I mean, it's there because it provides people with some measure of how they're doing. It's an easy numeric thing. Some people find it motivating. You know, we've got it, but it's like, I feel like it just takes people's eye off the ball, where it's like, okay, what are you scoring in a timed LSAT? What are you scoring on the 3 different sections? Where are you losing your points on a timed section? That's the indicator of where you should turn your attention, because she's now looking at this and going, okay, so, well, maybe RC is where I should drill. What does she say? She wants to drill RC and then stick to timed sections for LG and LR.
Okay. This could be taking her eye off the ball, and it sounds like it is in this case, and that's unfortunate, but that's assuming that this data or this indicator is wrong. Like if her time sections are lower in games, she's talking about an untimed game section. What do we do with that? Like I don't even know what to do with that.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure why she's even doing untimed sections of games. We didn't tell her to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even an option.
That's the whole point, is to drill. When you're drilling, you're untimed. So drill games untimed. That's your untimed practice. The Demon will take note of how long it takes you to solve those games. That's how it knows what difficulty to give you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't see the point of doing untimed game sections. I mean, she's clearly not good enough at the easy games, right? She needs to get better at the easy games. So drilling games is the way she's going to get better at the easy games.
Yeah.
And she should do timed sections every once in a while just to get a sense of where she is. But if, let's say she's only getting, 16 points on the games out of 23.
Yep.
If she's only getting 16 points on the games, it's not because she's not good at the hard games. It's because she's not good at the easy games.
Yeah.
because she's not even getting to the hard games, or she shouldn't be. She's just taking too long on the easy games, and the drilling tool should be giving her the easy games.
Which is what it's doing, actually, because it decides what games to give you based on this number right here. And it's saying, okay, well, you're not fast enough yet, so I'm going to give you some more of this until you can figure out how to do it correctly. She's probably not spending enough time setting up her games.
Well, yeah, everybody who's not good at the games, it's because they don't set the games up well enough.
And I would specifically say they're probably not spending enough time on that, right? They feel like they are, but they're not. And it's like, it's okay. Take longer because you'll actually go faster.
It's almost always like stopping one step short, right? I have students now share their diagrams with me in class, and then I share them back out to the class. And that it's been a fun way of like reviewing logic games in my classes recently. And it's like, there's one guy in particular that I'm thinking of every time. It feels like he sets it up right, and then he's just at the point where he's about to make the key inference, and then he just chooses not to make the split. He writes down the rule instead of like splitting based on that rule. And then he just doesn't unlock the game. And, you know, frequently he answers all the questions right, and he feels pretty good about himself because he got them all right in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was me like 5 years ago.
And it's like, yeah, but
I wrote down the rules, I split them up, and then it's like, oh, okay, right here. That's good enough. I don't want to just go crazy with this world thing. And so it works, but it's not as fast, because when you do unlock that last key, man, everything is like answered. I was talking about this last night in class.
Exactly. Yeah.
What can they ask? They can't ask me anything now because I've solved the whole system. It's right here on the whiteboard or on my paper. I don't care what they ask. They can ask me 10 questions. Yeah.
You've solved the system. You know how the system works. And at that point, you could write the fucking test. Right? You could write the questions. I mean, it's like, you know, you're really good at the games when you read a question and you go, oh, they could have made that question a hell of a lot harder. Like they could have asked this and this and this other thing. And instead they just asked for that. Oh man. Okay. Easy question. So anyway, this student, let's give some advice and wrap it up.
I would actually like to hear students tell me my practice sections, my practice tests, those scores are inconsistent with the dashboard. If it is, then there's a problem and I'd like to tweak it. But my guess is that they're not far off, because this is just taking the data from people who are taking time sections and drilling. It's like, I don't know how else we could change it.
She's like specifically talking about how to balance her drilling versus her timed sections in each of the 3 topic areas. And it's like, I don't know, do some drilling and do some timed sections in all of them, but spend more time on the section that you're the worst on. So she has been spending a ton of time on games. That's great. Reading comp is still an area for improvement. Seems like she could spend some time there. Thanks for writing in. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.